The January transfer window is heating up fast. Celtic are chasing a £9 million rated Premier League defender. Daizen Maida is facing a massive €14 million bid from Turkey. And Evan Ferguson's future at Roma is in serious doubt. Plus, Chris Sutton has just delivered one of his most brutal assessments of the current squad, and you need to hear what he said. It's been a wild 24 hours. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Celtic's long-running striker dilemma could yet take another intriguing twist this January, with reports from Italy suggesting Evan Ferguson's time in Serie A may be short-lived. According to Roma Press, the 21-year-old Ireland international is likely to leave AS Roma during the winter window. Despite a promising pre-season in the capital, Ferguson has failed to convince manager Gian Piero Gasperini, registering just one league goal and one assist since the campaign began. That lack of domestic impact sits in sharp contrast to his European output. Celtic supporters will not need reminding that Ferguson scored twice against the Hoops in the Europa League earlier this season, a performance that briefly reignited the sense that his career was back on track after an injury-hit spell. Journalist Emre Kurtulmus claims Ferguson has already been offered to Fenerbahce, while a return to parent club Brighton and Hove Albion is also being discussed behind the scenes. For Roma, it increasingly looks like a short-term experiment that has not delivered what was hoped. That uncertainty has inevitably brought Celtic back into the conversation. The Hoops were linked with Ferguson earlier in the season as they searched for a reliable focal point in attack. Those issues have not gone away. Injuries, inconsistency, and a lack of depth through the middle continue to undermine Celtic's title push. Former Roma and Liverpool defender John Arne Riis believes a move away from Italy could suit the striker. Speaking via the Irish Mirror, Riis said Italian football can be difficult to adapt to and suggested Ferguson's style is better suited to British football, including Scotland. He also pointed to the Europa League brace as a potential confidence boost and did not dismiss Glasgow as a possible destination, adding, "Never say never." From a Celtic perspective, the pros are obvious. Ferguson is young, physically robust, and a far better option than anything they have at the moment. His pressing, movement, and directness align far more naturally with the Scottish game than the tactical rigidity of Serie A. If Brighton does not want to use him right now, covering his wages for the next 4 months would be a no-brainer. Now for the main story, as Celtic are exploring a January loan for Bournemouth right back Julian Araujo, with Wilfried Nancy keen to strengthen quickly once the window opens. The 24-year-old is expected to leave on a temporary deal after limited minutes this season, and Celtic are among the clubs to have made an inquiry. Araujo is well known to Nancy. Although capped 16 times by Mexico, he grew up in the United States and came through LA Galaxy, while Nancy worked in MLS with CF Montreal and Columbus Crew. That familiarity helps explain his emergence as a target. Tactically, Araujo fits Nancy's 3-4-2-1 formation. He can operate as a wing-back and brings pace, recovery runs, and the athleticism to play high and wide. Celtic have lacked those qualities on the right this season. Araujo joined Bournemouth in the summer of 2024 for a reported £9 million after a brief spell with Barcelona. He also spent time on loan at Las Palmas in La Liga, which gives him experience across multiple leagues. He made 14 appearances for Bournemouth last season before injuries checked his momentum. This season he has played only once, an EFL Cup tie, though he has regularly made the matchday squad. Andoni Iraola is expected to approve a January loan so the defender can play regularly. If the deal becomes viable, Celtic are seen as strong contenders. Sunsport reports the Scottish champions have made an inquiry. Timing matters for Celtic. The January window feels pivotal, and supporters have little patience for deals that drift late into the month. If Araujo is viewed as an immediate upgrade, fans will expect early movement. Finances will shape any agreement. Premier League loans usually carry a premium through fees, wage share, or both, and that is often where talks stall given the board's caution in recent windows. Even so, Celtic need defensive reinforcements, and Nancy wants to imprint his system properly. Araujo fits the profile. Whether interest becomes action will show how aggressively Celtic plan to approach the opening weeks of January. In other news, Turkish transfer reports have reignited speculation around Daizen Maida, with Trabzonspor once again linked to the Celtic winger as they look to reshape their attacking options. Trabzon-based outlet Taka Gazette claims the Super League side want to inject more pace and end product into their front line and have shortlisted Maida alongside Stade de Reims winger Keito Nakamura. The report says Trabzonspor manager Fatih Tekke has approved initial checks on both players, with the club now assessing whether any move makes financial sense. From a Hoops perspective, the interest lands differently than it would have 12 months ago. Maida was open to leaving Glasgow during the summer window, with sources close to the situation suggesting he felt the timing was right for a new challenge. That exit never materialised, largely because Celtic were unable to line up a suitable replacement late in the window, leaving them little choice but to retain him. Maida is under contract until 2027, giving Celtic firm control over any discussions. Tucker Gazette reports his market value at around €14 million and suggests Celtic would expect a fee in that region before even considering talks. Trabzonspor's scouting department are said to have tracked Maida for a long time, but the scale of the deal means it will only progress if the financial structure works for them. On the pitch, Maida continues to justify Celtic's stance. He has 7 goals and 6 assists from 26 appearances this season, while still delivering the relentless pressing and positional flexibility that managers value so highly. Trabzonspor are not placing all their focus on Maida. Nakamura, valued closer to €8 million and tied to Reims until 2028, is viewed as a more attainable alternative. That contrast highlights why Maida is being assessed cautiously rather than aggressively pursued. In other news, Chris Sutton has delivered one of his sharpest assessments yet of the current Celtic starting 11, claiming one Hoops forward would struggle to get into the team at almost any other Scottish Premiership club, while another regular simply is not performing to the required level. Speaking on the warm-up, produced by William Hill, Sutton did not hold back in describing what exactly is holding the team back at the moment. At the heart of Sutton's criticism was Republic of Ireland forward Johnny Kenny. The striker has failed to score in 6 appearances, and Sutton questioned whether he has the quality to start regularly for a side with championship ambitions. He went further, suggesting Kenny would be unlikely to make the starting lineup at most other Premiership clubs right now. Coming from a former Celtic striker whose own goals played a key role in the club's early 2000s success, the verdict was striking. It also reflects many of the supporters' thoughts. While nobody wants to see a Johnny Kenny pile on, as the lad is trying as hard, however, it's clear he's not anywhere near the level needed. Sutton also singled out Anthony Ralston, pointing to concerns over his form and reliability on the right side of defence. Those issues have not gone unnoticed among supporters, and Sutton's comments will only intensify debate over whether that position needs urgent reinforcement. Lastly, Celtic's Scottish Cup tie against Auchinleck Talbot will go ahead in January, just not where many had hoped. Instead of a historic night at Beechwood Park, Celtic will face Talbot at Rugby Park after football authorities and Police Scotland ruled the original venue unsuitable on safety grounds. The call has left the Auchinleck support deeply frustrated. For many, the appeal of the tie was welcoming the champions into the tight, intimidating confines of Beechwood, a classic Scottish Cup setting that felt made for romance. Some Talbot fans are now talking about a boycott. Others plan to watch the match in the club's social facilities and keep their money local rather than travel to Kilmarnock. That's all for today's Celtic news. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. We'll be back tomorrow with more Celtic news. Until then, hail hail.